Welcome to the Bookbibuli podcast, and it's time to say goodbye to last year and welcome the new one. But before that, it's time to make merry, to celebrate Christmas. What do you think of when you think of Christmas? Yule logs, Christmas trees, and that oh so ever important spirit of goodwill. And one of the most essential books which fired the imagination of Britain towards Christmas, and especially that spirit of goodwill, is A Christmas Carol. Written by Charles Dickens and adapted into our culture now effortlessly, it is a hallmark Christmas novel which, just like most of Dickens' works, stands the test of time. And to discuss it with us today is Suvir. Hi Suvir, so nice to have you on the podcast today.
Hello, I am Suvir. I am a student of Class 5 in Lotus Valley International School. I love playing badminton. Of all the holidays, I love Christmas the most. The jolly spirit, cakes, cookies, and Christmas tree, everything.
From Bah! Humbug to Merry Christmas. That's the miraculous change that Ebenezer Scrooge undergoes. What did you think of his journey?
It's a great journey. I really enjoyed it. I thought that the way Scrooge goes from being a stingy, mean old crank to a jolly, merry, and generous gentleman. It was an interesting and satisfying transition. I do wonder what people who knew him thought about his literally overnight personality change. They must have been shocked.
Yep, I bet that made some heads turn. Maybe Bob Cratchit's or Fred's. They would have been really confused as to what on earth was going on, and pretty much convinced that that was a Christmas miracle. But what do you think shook them the most? Or to put it another way, what do you think is the biggest change between the Scrooge of before and the Scrooge of after?
I think that it's his newfound desire to live in the day, to cherish his moments. I think because he saw if he would continue down his current path, he would leave no positive marks on anybody's life. He decided that he would live life well, positively, and ensure that when he did go, he went with people say, "Why did you leave us?" rather than stay on with people saying, "Don't you leave us?"
Wow, that's very well said, Suvir. I agree that that sense of carpe diem was what led to all of the changes in him, from the cheeriness to his generosity to his love for family. And again, most of that stems from his fear of being forgotten, which he shows when talking to the ghost of the Christmas future, who has one odd characteristic, which is that he never talks. Why do you think that the ghost of Christmas future does not speak?
I think that he does not speak and only points because while his past is fixed and the present is happening right now, nobody knows the future. And so all he can do is tell Scrooge that this might happen, which is also why Scrooge has the capability to change it.
I would tend to agree with you. The future cannot be fixed, and surely it has to be the choices we make, the moments in time we choose to seize, that shape our future. And so, what do you think Scrooge did? What moments did he seize? How did he live out the rest of his future?
I would like to believe that he gets on better terms with Fred, his nephew, and spends many a jolly evening with them. Also, he starts to actively participate in helping the struggling, like poor children and those in debt, to ensure that he will be remembered fondly.
That would be a good way to wrap up his character arc. And hopefully, he retains all of the lessons he learned on that cold night over the many years he'll live on. Speaking of years, this is the second year of Bookbibuli, And to me, it seems like we've had a wonderful time. But I might just be biased. So I would like to ask you, what do you think of Bookbibuli and our progress over the last year?
I've been following Bookbibuli for a long time, almost since they began. I've seen so many different series, different kids, different opinions, different podcasts, and so many good memories, and even renowned authors. I think it has been an awesome time for Bookbibuli over the past few years, and being in the 90th episode gives me a warm feeling in my heart, just like Christmas should.
So you've been part of our journey for so long, and that makes all the compliments you gave us ever so special. Thank you. But just for curiosity's sake, what do you think of our curated reading program that we just launched?
I really love this program. It's like my reading superhero. Guided reading is so important because it helps us become really good readers. The program suggests books which are just perfect for you, where you learn new words and understand cool stories. It makes reading fun and helps us become awesome readers who can understand different books and different stories. Three cheers for curated reading.
Now that's a message we can get behind. You know, when you're reading, there are so many different choices, so many different paths to go down that maybe it would be helpful to have a few signposts, of maybe a guiding hand or two. And that's what we hope the Curated Reads program can accomplish. Help people with the right choices at the right times. Speaking of choices, what do you think were Scrooge's most important choices? The ones that led him down to the path of avarice and greed that he eventually went down.
I honestly don't know. He doesn't seem to have been poor or even alone. In fact, he drove all of his friends and even his lover away with his obsessive drive for wealth. I just don't get it. Maybe he wanted his life to be different. Maybe he wanted to be respected. But these are all just theories. So I honestly can't say.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't say either. So let's move on to the next question. How creative and interesting did you find the ghosts, and what were your favorite aspects of each one?
I really loved all of them and found them all really interesting and cool. I found that the ever-shifting shape of the Ghost of Christmas Past was extremely involving and fun. The Ghost of Christmas Present, giant size and incredible sights were also fabulous, but the Ghost of Christmas Future was scary, menacing, and well thought of. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be the Ghost of Christmas Present.
Well, it's been great having you here, Suvi. Hopefully, we'll see you around. Goodbye and Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you will enjoy reading this book.
Written in Dickens' masterful hand, this book is the gateway for most readers into the world of Charles Dickens. But even aside from its historical significance, it is written smoothly, and I mean smoothly, and effortlessly, with somewhat complex words, but superb pacing, narrative, and language. It can be rated as one of the finest pieces of holiday literature. Phenomenally written, particularly in terms of the story, which is one of the most unique a person may encounter. It tells the tale of one Ebenezer Scrooge with aplomb, vigor, and all of Dickens' masterful skill. A short book, but not for children. It brings out all of its author's talent with marvelous writing, a stellar plot, and a message which combines pathos with a feel good factor to punch you in the feelings. Now it's time for Bookbibuli Read Reco. It can be read and enjoyed by any serious reader above the age of 13. But the person has to be a serious enjoyer of literature in all forms. It does contain certain morbid themes, Marley's death, alcoholism, But at the end of the day, literally personifies Christmas with a warm ending, a feel good factor, and all our favorite traditions. It might just be the pinnacle of Christmas. So enjoy it with that mug of hot chocolate in front of the Christmas tree because it's that kind of book, the ones that take you away into their world. So until next year, better read, read better, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year to all of you.